you for a spin, I'll show you round the wheelie world. Hop on, it's fun, so come along and take a look at Wheelie World. You'll be surprised how good it feels. So zoom around all the young wheels so merrily. Oh, whoopee! You don't need a ticket, but we'll take you on for free. And if you see no bridge vanilla, don't be worried, for there's no cause for alarm. Cause we've got Chorlton, who's the dragon, he will keep you free from harm. It's fun at any time of year, so put your wheel in second gear and then hold tight. All right, we'll show you all the sights of Wheelie World.
In Wheelie World, as everywhere else, it was Christmas time, and there was a feeling of excitement and anticipation in the air because the Wheelies were all ready for their annual Yuletide Latin American fancy dress ball. Dressed in their costumes, the Wheelies were practicing hard, led by Pablo Petito, world champion Latin American dancing duck, who often dropped in on the Wheelies as he flew from one world championship to another.
That's it. Feel the music. Dance from the heart. Try not to lead, Queen Doris. Leave it to King Otto. Very nice, Miss Jenny. Very nice, Hummel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chorlton, my friend, be careful. 6, 8, 9, 7, 8.
The one with the costume like a dragon, that was Chorlton. Only it wasn't a costume. He really was a dragon.
3, 1, 2. Oh, right up, Pablo. Anything you say? 3.
As you can see, Chorlton wasn't a very good dancer, and he wasn't too clever at differential calculus, or thermodynamics, or tying his own shoelaces, but he was stupid. All the same, they thought a lot of him in Wheelie World. And that was because of the one thing he could do well: spread happiness. He was a happiness dragon, you see, and they're like that. So, with Chorlton around, everyone was happy. Well, that's not quite true. Everyone except Fenella Filoreg, the kettle witch who lived at Spout Hall, just over the border between Wheelie World and the Sadlands. At that moment, she was at the open window spying on Wheelie World through Riley, her one-eyed telescope, whom she'd stolen from the end of Doonlere Pier. Claptrap von Spilderbeans, her talking spellbook, fluttered his pages in the icy draught, while her other servants looked on, and what an unpleasant bunch they were. The Spikers were only too glad to prickle anyone Fenella didn't like, and the Toadies, well, they just toadied all the time.
Lucky me, I can't stand it, and they know it gives me a headache.
In her irritation at the sight of the Wheelies' cheerfulness, she swiped Riley, ow! Kicked the pink toady chief of her spy force, and gave one of the Spiker servants a backhand.
Ow! You stupid mind-clocker idiots! It's all your fault. Any more of it and I'm going home to Mother. Promises, promises. You cut-price peep sure take that. Oh, all right. That does it. Let's see you get out of that.
Claptrap thought that was very funny.
Congratulations, you're a granny. And you? It's time you made yourself useful. You'll end up round a Christmas parcel. You better come up with a spell to get rid of that wretched happiness dragon once and for all.
And Claptrap flipped through his pages to see what sort of nastiness he could find that would keep the kettle witch happily miserable.
How about an invisible spell? Useless, you tried that one before. I know. How about we kill all the flowers in the tire orchard?
Fenella pointed out, and none too gently, that since it was winter, there weren't any flowers in the tire orchard. Indeed, the more desperate Claptrap became to please his mistress, the more hopeless she thought his ideas were.
I don't want any of your weak-kneed, second-rate everyday spells. I want a doomsday special. And I want it now.
A doomsday special?
Oh, doomsday special?
And Riley, his one eye staring, said, because he was having a bit of trouble saying anything.
Ach, nein, please do not ask for that.
And why not pray?
Fenella turned to the chief toady in irritation.
What did he say? He say, wow, shut up.
She turned to Riley and snapped her fingers so that the knot came undone of its own accord.
Now what are you going on about? Well, you know perfectly well that you're not allowed to come anywhere near a doomsday special. And even if you've got your witch's diploma, they're only to be used by queen witches.
And that really did it. Mostly because it was true. Fenella ranted and raved, kicked the toadies. Ow! Belted Riley.
Ow!
Kicked the spiker. But it didn't make any difference what they said. Fenella just wouldn't listen to reason. And in the end, von Spilderbeans gave in before he was turned into hair curlers. He flipped through to the very secret pages at the back. And as he did so, everything went very still and very dark, as if the sun itself was afraid of what might happen. Fenella stared at the book, took a deep breath, and started.
Wings of weasel, ear of frog, let there be a dismal fog. Freeze the wheelies to the spot until they have their friends forgot. Then let the crystal blob appear. Lure the dragon far from here. Lead him to a frozen place, and never more we'll see his face.
She finished, and for a moment there was silence. Then for a moment, still overcome by her own cleverness, she stared after the crystal blob as it floated out of the window.
Oh, I done it, 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 I... Done it, I done it! I've done it, you, I've done it, oh, you, I've done it.
Then she too popped off to Wheelie World.
I don't like it.
Claptrap was a worried book.
I don't like it.
In the village, Chorlton was still working hard on his paso doble.
What do you think of my footwork, Pablo? Oh, blow, oh, 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, no,
It is very big. You see, yes, you are looking like Blackpool illuminations. That is not what I was going to say.
No, not me. That thing there. It's like Blackpool illuminations. But, go a minute, look greatly on top of the Wheelie's Christmas tree. Hey, Your Majesty, wouldn't it look greatly on top of the Christmas tree?
Queen Doris didn't seem to be listening. She was staring hard at Chorlton's feet. Chorlton, you've been dancing too fast. I think your feet are on fire.
Hey, you was on fire and all. And you was. Look, it's all over the place. It's not smoke at all. It's fog.
Sure enough, the steam, or fog, or whatever it was pouring out from the crystal blob as if it were boiling over. From her hiding place in the village, Fenella was watching with delight and chattering teeth.
Ah, that's lovely. Now, crystal blob, freeze all their hearts and lead them off to foreign parts. Oh, dear, my feet are not cold.
The witch pointed a claw-like commanding finger, and the crystal blob floated off to do its evil work, taking the fog with it. High up at the window spout hole, Riley was keeping an eye, his only eye, on Wheelie World, when all at once...
Oh, that's terrible.
What is it, my friend? What's the matter?
Ah, it's the end, that's what it is. I've gone blind. Blind.
Blind? How do you mean, Riley?
How do you think I mean, you great crowd agent? Blind. B-L-I-N-D. Lacking in vision, unable to see, deaf in the eye. Blind. So stop flapping your pages about it. Hey, wait a minute. If I'm blind, how can I see you flapping your pages about?
Without waiting for an answer, he spun back to the window.
Merciful hour. It's for fog. It's everywhere.
Himmel, it's Fenella's dismal fog, remember? It's the crystal blob. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like it.
I like it. Hey, I'm enjoying this. I think that there travelling lighthouse is playing hide and seek with us. 1, 2, 3, 6, 63, 20, 100. Coming ready or not, come on. Let's get after it. Hey, up. Are you not playing, then?
But the Wheelies were playing, and with a shout of,
Stick close to Chorlton.
they set off after the crystal blob, which drifted temptingly ahead, drawing them and its trailing cloak of fog to the outskirts of the village.
Oh, it's lovely crystal blob walk. Off you go and do your worst, my beauty.
As the last of the Wheelies were disappearing from view, a freezing figure gazed coldly after them.
Now, Wheelie World is mine. Oh, dear. I wish I was a bit warmer, though.
As she spoke, an icicle started to form on the end of her long pointed nose, and the evil kettle witch was slowly frozen over by her own spell. Eventually, all that was left in the deserted village was a cold and lonely block of ice.
Come on, little ones.
Sí, avante.
Oh, Chorlton, slow down. I'm gone.
Excuse me, senor. Excuse me. Excuse me!
Have you noticed anything?
I notice, my friend, that you have stopped.
No, it's the fog. Silly, it's gone.
And indeed it had quite suddenly evaporated. The Wheelies gazed about them in wonder because, although they hadn't walked far in the fog, they didn't seem to be in Wheelie World at all. They seemed instead to be in a world of ice, where pillars and arches and domes glittered with frosty pinpricks of light.
Hey, thump.
Crikey!
Gorgeous.
Wonderful. Que maravilla.
Hey, Thumb, said Chorlton suddenly. Come on, Wheelies, that little light thing's off again.
And Chorlton was off, leading the others in pursuit of the crystal blob as it floated off deeper into the strange world.
Hang on, we've lost him. Come on. Faster, you gorgeous people! Oh, wait for me, my love. Oh, do? What is it? Oh, look, a snowman. Yeah, come on. Excuse us. Mind out there. Hey, mind that snowman. Come on, once. See, faster, faster, from the hips. Oh, you gorgeous people. There he is. Look. Don't let him get away. I'm in.
Hey, look what I found. They all looked, and they all shrank back in fright.
No need for panic. All we need to do is run. All right.
But there was nowhere to run. They were surrounded by a ring of silent, sinister snowmen. Chorlton, though, had an idea.
I know, Pablo. It's the Penge Formation dance team. They've come for fancy dress ball.
They are no such thing. They are my servants.
It was a voice like the north wind, cold and terrible, and as it spoke, the wheelies shivered. Then they turned and looked to see who'd spoken.
Hey, by gum, we've been looking for thee. How do you fancy a job at a Christmas tree?
Silence and behold.
By gum, that's a good voice. Do you do working men's clubs?
Be silent. I am the Snow King, you miserable dragon.
Happiness dragon, actually.
Wretched creature.
Oh, well, it's not worth having a row about.
You have entered my kingdom uninvited, invaded my land, broken my laws.
I didn't mean to walk on the grass.
For these crimes, you and all the wheelies shall be turned to ice, condemned to join those miserable snowmen as the Snow King's train bearers till the end of time.
As Chorlton saw the wheelies frozen over by the Snow King's power, even he felt less cheerful. And in that moment of doubt, the end of his tail started to freeze. But then,
Speaking of trains, you better be careful leaving Euston.
Aye, be careful, why?
You might get into a no Snow King compartment.
the Snow King looked baffled, bewildered, and somehow smaller. Another voice chipped in.
Here, old frosty face. Have you ever thought of going into snow business?
I say. What do the weathermen say when it snowed in July? I don't know. What did the weatherman say when it snowed in July? A snow fault of mine.
Well, one by one, the wheelies lost their fear of the Snow King. One by one, the jokes got sillier. And the sillier they got, the more they all laughed. And the more they laughed, the smaller the Snow King became. Zuma suddenly realized what was happening.
Yeah. It's just laughing. He can't stand it. He's melting. Still, he always was a bit of a drip.
And that finally did it. Tottering helplessly around, the whole lot of them broke into laughter. Chorlton, Pablo, the wheelies, and the snowmen too, now that they were free from the doomsday spell. And little by little, the Snow King vanished away before their eyes, until all that was left was a little tiny crystal blob.
By coming that gradely. He'll look champion atop a Christmas tree.
As he said that, the crystal blob started to grow again. But it was a very different light from the cold, evil glitter it had before. Now there was something warm about it, something that made the wheelies think of peace, of love, of home. And then young Jenny said, "Look, everyone, we're back. We're back, we're back, we're back home, home." And so they were. Without traveling a single step, they found themselves in the middle of the wheelie village. No dark ice caverns, no clinging fog, no fear, but
It's snowing. Look, it's snowing.
Here, the gradely. And I can hear carols singing.
Yeah, so can I. Tommy, it's coming from Spout Hole.
And it was. The Christmas snow might not have reached the Sadlands yet, but for Riley and Claptrap, not having Fenella there was a good enough reason to join in the festive celebration. In the village, Chorlton and the wheelies were enjoying the carol singing.
Isn't it gradely? I wish little old lady were here. She'd love this. Hey, what's happening?
What was happening was that the deep frozen Fenella, who'd stood unnoticed all this time, was thawing in the warmth of Chorlton's happiness.
Hey, it's little old lady. How do, love? Here, are you not speaking to us? I can tell she's out cold.
Fortunately for Fenella, Chorlton knew what to do.
Stand back, make room. I shall give her the kiss of life. Hey, she's coming round.
Oh, darling, I never knew you cared. Ah, get off!
Chorlton seemed a bit taken aback at this less than grateful outburst.
Don't touch me, you horrible spotty oaf. Oh, the shame of it, anyway. And what's that horrible noise coming from my kettle? Is that Riley and Cloudtrap? Oh, I'll have them for this, dear. Suffer for this.
And with that, she popped off across the snowy wastes towards her kettle as fast as her magic could carry her.
Riley, Claptrap, oh, wait till I get home.
Missus, how do you do that? It's so lovely. Oh, it's grand to have her back. Pity she couldn't stay, though. I expect she was in a hurry to join in the carol singing. Still, she'll be back soon for the ball tonight. Bye-bye, little old lady.
But Fenella wasn't in a hurry to join in the carol singing. Though she was in a hurry to get back to where it was coming from, her kettle.
Silent night, holy night. Oh, Fenella, you silly. What do you think you're doing, Fenella, really? Oh, woman, down!
Fenella was making up for lost time. She certainly had plenty to give Riley and Claptrap, and she gave it to them long into the night.
Jump in, we'll take you for a spin, show you round the wheelie world. Hop on, it's fun, so come along and take a look at Wheelie World. You'll be surprised how good it feels to zoom around all the young wheels so merrily. Oh, whoop, you don't need a ticket, but we'll take you on for free. And if you see the witch Fenella, don't be worried, for there's no cause for alarm. Cause we've got Chorlton, who's the dragon, he will keep you free from harm. It's fun at any time of year, so put your wheel in second gear and then hold tight. All right, we'll show you all the sights of Wheelie World.